Well, here you have a detailed plan of how you can say that. You can also in Belgium say that, for instance, in the back part, there is no interest of these people who consider themselves as being part of Brussels. But when you take it, when you speak with local administrations, you have administrations who, for half of their competences, are working with rural areas. So it's a difficulty, the problem between the local differences. I mean, city and surroundings, and in Belgium, city and surroundings on the first time, and two cultures on the other time. So you have a more complex, and that's the case of Brussels. And what in Brussels, most of the time, because they are so worked what they knows into the reality, everybody is trying to forget that Brussels is in the center of a lot of integration zones. And you have an element to take into account, and that's our argument from an economic point of view. You have to take into account the position of Brussels, also in the strategy of the cities around, in and around Brussels. So it's not only Brussels, it's not only Brussels and the surroundings, it's also the metropole of Brussels in a European structure, and that is for us very important. Now I just gonna skip this one because it's not, but if I think it will take too long. It's a bit, but it's interesting. Well, only this. Tensions between metropolitan areas are very clear here. When you see the blue line, that's the evolution of the economy from the years 80 to 2006 in Brussels. And the two other regions around Brussels are much more effective in growth. But the median, so the overall evolution is about the same evolution as in Belgium. So there is no advantage taken from the fact that they are capital of Europe on a pure economic point of view. So there is no additional advantage in the case of Brussels from the fact that they are capital of Europe, because you have this difficulty in the center. And this is why, and this is my third point, we started something we call the business route for metropolitan Brussels. And we did it for the whole metropolitan area, for a long-term vision, and by the business initiatives, by the business community. And you have the challenges, opportunities. They are very simple. Let's say they are not that very. Mobility in an area, in an urban area is very important, and so on. We made a plan with these companies, and we did it with all the main employers' organization in Belgium, and that's something unique. There's only, at the moment, one common project from representations of the 4 levels, the 3 regions and the federal level. There's only one project in Belgium, and that's a common project by the private sector about the metropolitan area. And we are going to insist on that as an important point in the development of Belgium, and that's the project we are working on at the moment. So, and we visualized it, we tried to communicate about that, and the way we communicate, it's simply that. There are 3 spare parts. We say, for all this region, do something with the fact you have a capital of Brussels. You are the capital of Brussels. The second point, don't go to promote sectors. Go to promote niche potentials in every sector. What's good and what can be developed in Brussels. If it is logistics, everything ICT or something else, that's not the point. If it's good to develop in Brussels, do it. It's the niche potential that's important, not the sectorial. And then we are trying to make, but that's something they just calculated, they just copied from Barcelona. Make from Brussels not a boring city, but a daring city. And I can't say what's more important about it. It's let's say, the most influential argument was not the Grand Place, but the Grand Place. Well, these are different projects. It's perhaps too long, and we also wanted to make a sustainable development. We need a sustainable development and a solid foundation. That means green city, mobility, taxes, labor market, governance, talents, and so on, to do sub-project on that transversal aspects of the metropolitan development. Can we do that? Yes, and that's my last slide. In London, they have a complete private organization that is London First, and London First did a lot of projects that were accepted by the Greater London Council, by the Mayor of London, and that's something we think it could be useful. Second is Basel, because Basel made a metro plan with the same logic and the same argument for Switzerland, Germany, because Basel is part of Germany, and France, because the airport is in France. So they have the same argument, the same message for completely different authorities, 3 different countries. You see? So that's another example, and the third is this one of Oakland. Oakland, the private sector made the proposal, and the mayor of Oakland took it as a plan for the city. So that's also one of our examples, and if they can do it, why we not? So that was my introduction. Thank you.